everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. This is the morning recap vlog. I hope everybody's having a great week. On my way to work. Gonna go over this last week with this recap. Not a whole lot went on. I did bring in the blue R1 Plus, which I've been reviewing. I got a couple more areas I'd like to touch up on that with that device to finish off the reviewing process. I'm not going to put a whole ton into it. I mean, it's a $109 device for me. For some, it'll be $159. Hopefully, it'll go back down. It's worth looking into for a budget device as a backup device, and for some who just don't want to spend the money, they have it, they just don't want to spend it. They want to go budget, but they want a good budget device, and some just can't afford anything over $100 or $200. So this is the area that they look at. This is the crowd that I'm meeting, and this is why I'm bringing that device to you. At this point, I say it's a device to look into. The weaker spots on that device, and I've already said this in the video, but I'm going to say it again, is in recording. So if you don't do a lot of video recording, you'll be fine. The pics are really nice, but again, it's not that bad. You only get 720p from the rear and the front. When recording, you do have a front-facing flash, which is really cool. You know, but again, it's just something as a backup, or if that's all you can get, you will be okay. Okay, but if it's an area you want to dive into as far as cameras and recording and all of that, audio is really nice, actually. It's not too bad. Yeah, you might want to look into something. You know, there's a lot of choices within that price point of $100 to $250, but there's a lot of you sending me feedback that you're pretty happy and pretty stoked with what you got for what you paid for, and that's what's coming back. Is that we're looking beyond and trying to compare this to too many other devices. But even those other devices that are priced really low have their, you know, pros and cons as well. So, again, I'm bringing it to you. There's a crowd looking for these types of devices. So, I bring it in, I review it. I got a couple more areas I'd like to hit up on that device, and then I'm basically done. And again, I'm very happy for those of you who've brought that device in and you're using it, and you've only paid $109. So if you can get it for that price, it's a go. $159. If you're into using your cameras and video recorder, I would kind of wait till it dropped back down. So that's what I'll say right now. Did do a live stream, LG G6 cases giveaway from Poetic. Daniel Peralta won a couple cases, sent those off already. He's going to get to enjoy those with his LG G6. And I have another winner, Miss Scient, but she hasn't got a hold of me. I'm waiting for her to get a hold of me, and hopefully she watches the morning recap vlog, because you won a couple cases. I would like to get them off to you. If you don't get a hold of me by my next days off, which is a few days from now, I will go ahead and announce another winner. So hopefully you do. Mrs. Scient, if you're out there, man, I'm right here waiting to hear from you to send you a couple cool LG G6 cases. One from Poetic, one from Sparrin. Okay? Please, when you enter contest, I would love for you to subscribe, become a part of the team. And the thing is, stay up on these videos, because especially when I'm doing giveaways, which I don't do very much, I'd like to do more. You know, your name's going to pop up and you're going to miss out. So hopefully you have your notifications turned on for my Project 13. Okay. So yeah, did the live stream, did that, picked a couple winners. That was really fun. Got to just talk about a bunch of other stuff. Had some camaraderie time, which I'm always digging. Did some Yootech accessories. Actually covered one this time around. A wireless charger, a pad, wireless charging pad, which is really cool. So thanks to Yootech for sending me another accessory to be able to have, but yet review, and just blessed to get products in and give that info to you, to give you some opportunity to look at other accessories at low price points instead of spending a lot of money. Okay. Hey, you know, the question I'm getting right now, because I had the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus for 8 days. In 8 days, I got some pretty good hands-on time, but I was so frustrated with the recording, video recording, and the issues that were going on there, that I had to send the device back. Most of you know that. And so I really didn't get to review the device fully for all of you because I was just so bothered by that area that I did bring some, you know, some information to you in those 8 days, and you can go back and watch those videos. Phenomenal, sexy looking device that has a lot to offer. There was a couple of you who thought I just wanted an excuse to return a device. Hey man, I make videos. That's what I do here. And if my devices don't work for videos, then it's when I'm spending $850, then it's not going to stay with me. And I don't have time to wait for software updates. And when it's going to happen at that price point, I could look into something else. I want to keep the journey rolling. I want to keep it going. Down the road, I may pick it up again. So that's always the possibility. I haven't forgotten about it. Obviously, I'm still talking about it. But, you know, yeah, I missed that device. I wish it would have been better for me in my experience. But, you know, one of the biggest questions, LG G6 or the Samsung Galaxy S8? And, you know, that's, as an individual question, I'm going to say the LG G6, and I may get some negative feedback for this, but remember, it's my opinion, and you're asking me a question on what would I pick. Why is that? Well, I'm looking at a device that's $200 cheaper if you're buying the S8 Plus, okay? And at $200 cheaper, man, I can use that money to get another device. Like to review in reviewing the device that I'm reviewing right now, which is the Blue R1 Plus, and you're going, yeah, well, that's not a really cool device to review. Well, maybe not for you, but for some it is. So it keeps the reviewing process going. So I'm able to utilize my money and save money for that, right? T-Mobile dropped the price down to $500. I don't know if it's back up yet, but at $500 now you're saving 350 smacks if you buy the LG G6 from T-Mobile. And maybe the other carriers will price match. Are you kidding me? Saving 350 smacks for a device that, I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't tell the difference between the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 and the 821. That's another reason. So there's price point, there's the processor, which is cool. You got the latest and the greatest, but when you can't even tell the difference. Hey, I mean, come on. Really, you can't tell the difference. They're both smooth. They both work great. No, in my 8 days with the S8 Plus, I had no lag, no stick, no nothing, even with TouchWiz, okay? Which was tuned down a little bit as far as what Samsung had done with that device, okay? They didn't go as heavy, but it was fluid, it was smooth, it was feathery, it worked, it did the job. But the LG G6, same thing, but I couldn't tell the difference between the 821 and the 835. You know, cameras, sure, you got probably a tad bit better on the Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, especially in low light, but the average consumer, and even a few steps above that, I mean, you really have to know your stuff, or you're going to be super stoked with the LG G6 when shooting video and taking pics. You're not going to go wrong. And again, these are all like by tidbits if one is better than the other. It's not like a ton. And the LG G6, you hardly have as much bloatware as the S8, S8 Plus. It's a little bit easier in that area, so you don't have a lot to mess with, unless you really love that kind of a thing, which I don't mind. You know, I don't mind, but I'm more Nexus. I like it plain and simple. What I didn't like is the limitations you had when shooting video. When you were in the dual camera mode, you only have 5 minutes to shoot video. When you're using 1080p 60 frames per second, you only have 10 minutes to shoot a video. You have no limitations on the LG G6. None whatsoever. Now, the one thing I'm really starting to dig on devices, especially on the LG G6, is the flat screen. The curved screen, even though the S8 Plus is minimal with that curved screen, it's not as intensified as the S7 Edge, which really had issues with screen protectors, glass screen protector, tempered glass, and so forth. Well, the S8, S8 Plus, you're going to have some of those issues. If you don't want to be bothered and frustrated with trying to find the perfect one to fit those curved edges, even though they're minimal compared to the S7 Edge, I'm going to tell you something. The flat screens are so much easier. The frustration level is not even there because you just take it, put it on, and it's done. You're not gonna have to worry about those corners coming up with, for the most part, okay, maybe here and there, but we're talking like, what, 9 out of 10, it's gonna work. With these curved edges, you have too many issues. Now, with my accessory review from Yootech with the screen protector and the case, those two products work great together. But there was some issues with some of you saying that like your spigging case didn't work with that Yootech screen protector. So cases from other companies and screen protectors from other companies working with curved displays, there's going to be some frustrations there. There's going to be some issues there. And sometimes there isn't. It's kind of a 50-50 thing. But when you have a display that's just flat without that curve, you have a better chance of it working for you, I guess is what I'm trying to get. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to. So the LG G6 for me, as far as that, it's much simpler to work with. You still get a large display and a small body. I love what they're doing in both those devices. They're both sexy. But you ain't gonna mind asking out the LG G6 on a date over the Samsung Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus. You're just not. Because it's just as sexy. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous device. So yeah, I'm gonna park here because you all know it's movie madness time. It's where I return my movie, and I'll be back. And let me turn on some music here before I go out.
Boss.
All right, I'm back. So, well, let me throw this in too. Some of you are saying, well, what about the display, the Super AMOLED up against the IPS LCD display? Yeah, the Super AMOLED display, obviously. I mean, when you're watching movies and videos, wow, give it to the S8, S8 Plus. Give it to Samsung, okay? That display is just gorgeous. One of the most beautiful displays I've had in hand. But the IPS LCD display on the LG G6 does its thing too, okay? You ain't gonna go wrong. Please understand that. You ain't gonna go wrong. Price point, right now, especially T-Mobile, 500 smacks. You ain't gonna tell the difference between the two chipsets, okay? That's just my opinion, you're not. Displays, well, depending on what you're into. You'll be happy if Super AMOLED is your thing, then that's where you go. If that's the deal breaker right there, well, that's to each their own, man. That's the way you want it. As far as the speakers on both of them, they both sound great. They're both water resistant. They're both wireless charging. I think the LG G6 has just that much better of a speaker and the audio quality. Again, some of you might not even tell the difference. The body's sexy. Yeah, 18.9 display ratio. Woo! Sexy looking displays on these devices. So there's a lot to love about both of them, but in the end, what is more cost effective? And is the latest and the greatest always better? And if it's only by a tad bit in certain areas, man, seriously, I think that as a solo person buying a device, I'm going for the LG G6. That's just me. That's just me, man. That's what I'm going for. But that's me talking off the top of my head, what's coming from my heart, and what would be the wisest move between the two devices. You know what I'm saying? And when in hand, when having the both in hand, I felt like I had a little more in hand. Well, I feel like I have a little more in hand with the LG G6. I didn't feel that from the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Getting parked here. So let me turn this over this way so you can see a little light. So that just felt like there was a lot more there. And I like that. I like having my LG G6 in hand. And when I had both of them in hand, it just felt that much more, even without a case. But with cases too, my LG G6 just felt that much better in hand. I love a larger device, man. In the end, I'd rather have a bigger device like my Nexus 6. Okay, my Nokia Lumia 1520, big, phablets. But if they're going to this type of form factor when it comes to devices and this ratio displays is 18.9, and they're going to slim them down, I like what LG did with theirs just a tad bit better than I like what Samsung did with theirs. And that's just an opinion, folks. Just an opinion. Okay? There's nothing unsexy about the S8, S8 Plus at all. It's gorgeous, beautiful. But I'm talking about everything that it entails when it comes to wearing cases on them, putting on screen protectors, what feels a little more solid, what feels a little more that it's just substantial in my hand. That's what I go for. So, and again, if you're not going to tell the difference between the processor and if the cameras and the video recording are just off by a bit between the two, but I don't have any limitations whatsoever on my G6. And then guess what, man? Price-wise too, you bundle all that up and you go, wow, okay, yeah, the G6 for me is probably the wisest decision to go for. But that's my opinion. And maybe sometimes my opinion doesn't matter. I don't know. Again, you guys, don't judge me on that. The question has been asked and asked and asked. And so I just don't keep on rambling on. That's the way I'm going to answer it. But if you have the S8, S8 Plus, I know and everything's working for you, and certain things don't bother you, like limitations when you're recording video. Hey, man, cool. It's an awesome, awesome device. But just for me personally, the LG G6 is just that much better in my decision making if I had to pick between two to have in my hand, in my pocket every day as my daily driver. But I was blessed to have the S8 Plus for 8 days. Got to bring you some information, then sent it back. Maybe down the road, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for listening. I know I went on. I dragged that out. But this is what the morning vlog, any morning vlog, afternoon vlog, recap vlog, that's what they're all about. Okay, it's just sharing what is in my head, and we're just having a conversation. Thanks for riding along with me. This is the morning recap vlog. Again, if you want to go back and check out some of the videos, check them out. Anything else you want to see, leave it down below. Let me know what you think about this video. All right, unedited. Yeah, unedited morning recap vlog. Peace, man. Have a great day. Till my next vid. God bless. And remember, you are my Project 13.